Welcome back to Top Rope Round, episode 144. Woo! Woo! This list that does not miss.
That's where we're at now.
I'm Mike Hogan.
I'm just a cat.
And we're going to start off with a new thing. You see it up here, it says WCW. It's WCW
This is
moments.
very large.
You totally don't remember this man. Should remember all of them because he's a WCW guy.
That's right. He was the WWE guy. He remembered Bob Backlund being champion. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Well, the second round, when he was old.
Not the first time, the second time.
The first time, it was before Hogan was champion, didn't it?
Well, he became champion because of Bret Hart's crazy mama. Throw the towel in, Bob becomes champion 8 days or a couple of days later. Diesel.
Nash. Not Nass.
No.
Not NASA. But the first time around, he was champion for like 3 years or something like that. It was great. Back then, that was normal.
It was.
You could be a 24-year champion.
It was.
Never defend your belt. But anyway, number 10 in this list is Jimmy Hart wrestling a DJ on pay-per-view not one time, but twice.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Twice.
So successful was Jimmy Hart rolling around with Shock Jock Mancow.
I remember Mancow.
You remember Mancow?
I remember Mancow.
I don't really remember Mancow, but I do remember this happening at Spring Stampede 2000, which is probably after you quit watching this. That WCW's brain...
I had to make a choice. They were all at the same time. I had to make a choice.
That's
My
right.
loyalty went with WWE.
Of course.
Well,
Followed Austin, yeah. Anyway, the WCW's brain trust decided to do it all over again 7 months later at Mayhem. We're kidding, but not about the rematch, of course, because the first Hart versus Cal match made Tank Abbott versus Jerry Flynn look like a Surefire Wrestling Observer Award winner. That's not good.
That's not good.
You've probably blocked this from memory, but legendary manager Jimmy Hart did actually wrestle Chicago-based radio host Mancow Mueller on 2 separate WCW pay-per-views. Yes, people were expected to pay for this rubbish more than once. Welcome to WCW in the year 2000, a 12-month span that is forever immortalized on the WWE Network for only
$9.99.
There's no point comparing the Spring Stampede and Mayhem matches. They were both horrendous examples of crossover celebrity appearances. Nobody wanted to see Mancow effectively have a cat fight with one of wrestling's greatest ever managers. Nobody.
Did you?
No.
Oh.
I don't remember them hyping this, but when
I
I watched it on the network, I was like, yeah, that did happen. But next time, when we do part for the list, number 9 on the WCW moments that you totally don't remember, Jesse Ventura's Arm Wrestling Invitational. That was a little before my time. I'm more of like NWO time period.
Right. Well.
And Jesse Ventura was already gone by then. This was early WCW. This was Johnny B. Bad time period. So you should remember that stuff. I know you were watching back then. I know you remember RoboCop, so you watched back then.
Oh, I remember RoboCop. Yeah.
That was about that time.
I remember Jesse being there. Him and Tony Schiavone. Yes.
Him and Jim Ross. Apparently, Jim Ross hated working with him. So,
Well, that's not good.
well, they say that what I was listening to, they said that he doesn't like. He basically sabotaged their team together because he was pissed that Jesse Ventura got so much money, and he was like, "You shouldn't be mad. I got more money. That's your problem. You didn't negotiate enough."
Yeah. So he negotiated with WWE and
Exactly.
hand me that toga. I'm out of here.
Hand me the token. Now we go on to the 10 most unlikely main event acts in WWE history.
Number 3. This guy.
Hopefully you can see it, but it is Jinder Mahal.
Yes.
It's very bright. I can't see it looking this way. So, Jinder Mahal's sudden ascent to the WWE Championship content on SmackDown was shocking. But the reasoning behind it is pretty clear. WWE had identified India as an emerging market and feel it's important to push a sort of native star as they expand to the country. Likewise, Mahal is thought to be an incredibly hard worker behind the scenes, and if his new physique is the product of hard work, because I don't know about that word, it's easy to see why the company have been impressed by him. Yes, if it's due to other ways of getting your body like that, then it's not right.
No, and I don't think they let him give him a pass. I'm sorry.
They would. They didn't give Roman Reigns a pass. I don't think that was for steroids, but it was still part of the wellness policy.
Why would they give Jinder? I'm sorry. It's just
Right.
Oh my God, Jinder fails. We gotta let him go 3-8. Pass him on. Yeah,
it's not gonna happen. All that said, Jinder's push came as the worst kind of surprise. Having done nothing but jobs since returning to WWE last year, Jinder Mahal has absolutely no momentum, even less credibility. Prior to the last week, when this was written up, Jinder hadn't won a Raw or SmackDown singles match since defeating the lowly Jack Swagger last September, yet fans will now be expected to believe he's someone who could pose a legitimate threat to Randy Orton. Which he did, because all this is filmed. All this was a write-up before we know how he's doing now.
Right.
It's an absurd situation, and the first time WWE have ever thrust an enhancement talent into the spotlight so recklessly. It will inevitably blow up in their face. And I love reading stuff after the fact.
Yes.
And when it does, they'll be faced with the intimidating prospect of completely rebuilding SmackDown's crumbling main event scene. This guy is a Raw guy. Clearly.
Yes, it is.
This guy that wrote this was very upset with SmackDown. Yes. I don't see where they're crumbling. They have AJ Styles and Kevin Owens that could go up into the main event if they want to. They still have time to work with Baron Corbin to pull him into where they need him to be.
Yes.
You got Bobby Roode now. If you do Mike Kanellis correctly, he can go up into the U.S. title division, which is still a high up title. You got Nakamura. If you wanted to use Dolph correctly, he could be an either title pitcher. So, to me, I don't see where it's crumbling. Not a bit. But, of course, this was all written before the Jinder Mahal push proved to be a good idea.
Yeah, because he beat Randy 3 times.
3 times. And he's already...
One time on SmackDown, which he shouldn't have lost.
Yes.
And
he beat Nakamura.
So, yeah.
And when he won the belt, when he won the number contendership thing, everybody in the audience was shocked, and that's what they're looking for. They're looking for shock value, and it worked. Yeah. When he won the belt, shock. Who did he beat it from? Was it Randy Orton? Was Randy Orton the champion then, or no?
Yes, Randy was the champion.
He was the champion.
Yes.
So he beat Randy, and then he defended against him a couple more times.
Yes.
Gotcha. And then Nakamura, which he's going to be.
Because he beat Randy, and then he beat Randy in his hometown. And then he beat Randy in the Punjabi prison. Yes.
And then beat Nakamura. And now he's got Nakamura again.
Yes.
So, and I mean, I don't see why he wouldn't beat Nakamura this time too, but that's just me.
I don't think he will.
You don't think so?
No.
You think they're done?
Yeah, I think Nakamura will take it to Hell in a Cell, and hopefully Jinder will stay main event.
I hope so.
Move down to the U.S. title, kind of back and forth.
With his type of gimmick, that would work if he took over the U.S. title. You know?
Yes. Being
for India, taking over the U.S. I mean, I hope they don't push him all the way back down.
No.
That would be such a waste of time.
But you could take, Baron cheats and takes the title off AJ.
Yes.
Which leaves AJ to swing between both right now until we get Nakamura or AJ at WrestleMania.
Absolutely.
Sami Zayn surprises people. He wins the United States title. And Jinder could take the title off Sami.
True.
I'm wrong with that.
That is true. But yeah, I hope they do keep pushing him. But I mean, clearly people got behind the idea pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So I love reading this stuff like after the fact when people act like they know what's going on.
Oh yeah, it's always
because when I first saw it, I was not excited about it. I was like, come on. I mean, this must just be a fly-by-night. He's getting one title match. He's going to lose. And then when it happened, and then he added his little goons and all that, I was like, this is great. Yeah. I mean, sometimes you speak before you know the facts, and then when you see it all together.
Was he treated right? No, he wasn't treated right before.
No. But he did work on his body, and he worked on his promo skills.
Like they knew it was coming because why was he like the next to last guy in the Andre Giant Battle Royal? Why did he not one of the first ones out?
Exactly.
So,
because as a jobber type character, an enhancement talent, why'd they leave him in the Battle Royal for so long?
And him losing the Battle Royal is better than what happened to Mojo.
Mojo.
Winning it.
Yep. Because if you looked at both of those, you would think, okay, I would guess Mojo would be in his spot before Jinder was ever in that spot.
Yes, that's true.
So clearly it was okay that he lost that Battle Royal. But the next time we do the 10 most unlikely main event acts in WWE history, it'll be number 2, and it's going to be Mr. R-Truth which I am one of those people that enjoyed his heel run in the main
I did
event.
too. I did too. And they just say, we're done with it.
He got a lot of trouble for smoking on television in the arena, though. Clearly, probably was not his idea, but apparently the arena people freaked out. That is kind of against the rules. I know it was for TV.
It's done deal.
But that was funny, though, that he did that. You know, would I take the little Jimmy thing or the heel thing? I'd much rather have him be as a heel. But Vince is the one that put a stop to that, because Vince is like, they love you too much. I just can't have you as a heel. To me, I thought it worked.
Who loves him too much?
The crowd loves the what's that. That's all it is. That's all it is. Vince wants to hear that reaction with the what's up. But
you tell him instead of what's up, shut up.
Did he do that while he was a heel? I wonder.
No, he smoked.
He smoked. But he only got that one little thing against him and John Cena. It didn't last very long. And then him and Miz teamed, but they teamed against John Cena and The Rock. So that was that was a losing effort.
Yeah, forget that.
That was a one and done. Once in a lifetime. Okay.
Hey, you're doing so well right now, aren't you? You're losing to Goldust, you're losing to Elias, and so yeah, you're just what's up there, R-Truth.
Yeah, we know he's going to be one of the next.
You know, they dropped that other thing. You know, he's supposed to make an announcement at SummerSlam, and that never come back, and he hasn't been back on TV since.
I liked his little segment sitting in the director's chair and
They haven't done no more since then.
It's sad.
Don't know if they were put on the back burner or they just said,
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's sad. But speaking about R-Truth, because I feel like he's going to be one of the next ones, along with Goldust, to go out the door, retire.
Oh, go out on their own. We are not saying.
Right.
There's your pink slip.
Right. I don't think they're going to fire either one of them. I think they'll let them retire. And it may be
I would say Goldust. She has R-Truth.
Well, he's been there for a long time.
Yeah, he's been there for
But I think with both of them, they're going to be like, hey, we're not going to renew your contract. We'll let you do a retirement thing or whatever. Yes. They'll probably treat the retirement like they did Christians. Rude people.
Did Christian get a retirement?
No!
Exactly.
That's what I'm telling you. They may
R-Truth will be on Monday Night Raw for a while and then disappear. And then he'll be on Global Force.
And then all of a sudden, or he'll go in the Hall of Fame because, you know, he's the same level of Coco. Be weird. Anyway, I'm not trying to be mean or just being honest. So
why's I always go back to Coco for? Always go back to Coco.
I mean, we can drop it all the way down to Drew Carey if you need me to.
Well, that's a celebrity.
I understand that, but it's just as bad.
It is just bad, but they're
Coco
on their little section with Donald Trump and
not for much longer. Anyway, we're gonna take him out of there.
Not while Linda's working for him.
Thank you. But did you notice though, in one calendar year, if Undertaker stays gone, in one calendar year, we have retired the 4 biggest men in WWE. In 1 year. Kane is doing his thing, trying to win the office. Yeah. And I bet you're going to be a landslide he'll win that.
I would say so. Yeah.
Okay? So...
Because he's putting all his efforts into that.
A lot of effort. He was in a tiny car, too.
Ain't coming back. Ain't been show nothing. Nothing.
I'm surprised. I guess they really... It's kind of bipartisan. They can't really promote it on WWE, but...
No. But I guess it'll stop the... superstars.
Yeah, some of the wrestlers are supporting him and stuff and showing, and they're actually doing a thing there in his town, and Kane will be there. That really scared me. It's a low battery. Anyway,
Get to the next thing.
but they're doing a fundraiser, and he's gonna be there, and Dr. Tom Pritchard and some of the Tennessee legends. So that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
But Kane, he's pretty much done because even if he wins that, I don't think he's gonna come back for a retirement match.
He's going to be gone for 4 years. Right,
exactly. Because his last thing was he lost in a match against, I think he lost in it, but he had a random match against Luke Harper. That's the last time we saw him, which didn't really help Luke Harper much, did it, buddy?
Who?
Exactly. So
is Luke Harper still around?
Somewhere sent to the house. But,
so he's on SmackDown, but...
So Kane's done.
Kane's done, yeah, Kane's done.
Undertaker put the stuff down in the ring, so we assume he's done.
He should be done.
He should be. I quit beating a dead horse, by gosh.
Again.
Please don't. Let's not restart that mess again. That was the worst gimmick.
Half motorcycle, half taker.
So Undertaker's pretty much done. Mark Henry's already said, I'm a talent scout now, and I'm working backstage, helping the guys. So he's done. Now, Big Show looks to be done. They're saying he's got to have the hip surgery, and that he already said when his contract ends with this calendar year, I guess next WrestleMania, he'll be done. So if anything, if he's healthy enough, he can come in and win the Andre Battle Royal and be done. Who cares?
Big Show, no, he needs to be done. That should have been it.
But they're saying that he does have time left on his contract. That it's going to end at WrestleMania, 34 is this the next one, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, if they give him that big send-off, is it 34? Yeah.
Yes.
If they give him that big send-off, then wonderful, great, whatever, who cares? But we've lost 4 big men, and we've only replaced them with Big Cass, injured, and Braun Strowman. So... we lose 4 big guys. We replace them with 2 because I would put 2 other people in it, but they don't care about Eric Rowan and Luke Harper, do they?
No.
Which is sad. But they have 2 legitimate big guys that are taking over the reins for those big heavy hitter guys.
Yeah,
so
that should be interesting. I mean, that's true. I mean,
that's the future.
I know. When will Luke Harper and Eric Rowan show back up? Will they be Luke Harper and Eric Rowan? Or will they be something else?
I kind of hope.
Is this the end all for the fashion files?
See, and I don't think it is because they were talking about poetry. Okay.
Yeah.
Authors of pain. Authors. They write. Get it? There's a book.
To be or not to be?
There's a book.
That is the question.
Authors of pain.
To be or not to be?
So that's why I think it's them. And they they haven't been on the last set of tapings.
I would love for Authors of Pain to be on SmackDown.
They were on the last set of tapings, but at the same time, if you can't push Harper and Rowan, do you know how to push a big guy tag team? It's sad.
And we'll
Paul Ellering come with them.
them.
Because if he don't, that's a big hit to that team because they still need a lot of seasoning.
Yes, they do.
Which is a good tag team to feud with and be on the live event circuit with, is feuding with Fandango and Tyler Breeze, because I do think they can help them learn the ropes on the main roster and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, what do we got?
We got the Montreal Screwjob, 10 backstage stories about what really happened that night. The Montreal Screwjob was one of the most famous moments in WWE history. They keep bringing it up all the time. They brought it up a few weeks back on SmackDown when Kevin Owens said he feels the same way. He's the second Canadian to be screwed over by the McMahons.
That's funny.
That is funny they brought that up. At Survivor Series 97, Bret Hart was screwed out of the WWE title by Vince McMahon in his match against Shawn Michaels. Here are some backstage stories from the various people involved in the incident. Hopefully this provides you with some new perspective about the incident. And of course we went over Bret's wife. We went over the referee Earl Hebner. We went over Pat Patterson. And now this week is Mick Foley organizes a protest.
One of the little known facts.
The Democrats love to protest.
That's true too, and he is one. He may not protest, but he is a Democrat. Little known facts about the Montreal Screwjob was that Mick Foley tried to organize a protest among other wrestlers after what went down. Many of the wrestlers backstage were pissed off because they're supposed to be able to trust the guy they're working for. What job have you ever worked at? How did they know that it couldn't happen to them? Well, when you're told to lose the belt, you lose the belt and it ain't going to happen to you.
That's right.
Mick told the story in an interview with ESPN about him trying to organize a protest the night after on Raw. I was just upset because I was a friend of Bret Hart's. And more importantly, of course you're a friend of the guy who got screwed over. Of course.
I am. Should it be I am?
You said I was. And more importantly...
But it's not now?
I don't know.
Should it be I am a friend?
Do we know when the ESPN thing... Maybe the ESPN thing was at many, many years later.
That's true.
You never know. And more importantly, he's a guy that I respect as a champion and a person. So I walked out and didn't show up the next night for Raw. If I had a car... Yeah, I know I love that song. Right? I would have driven home. But I didn't. So I sat in the hotel room in Montreal.
Guess no Avis was around.
Well, they didn't have Uber then. And of course he's in Montreal and he lives in Florida. So guess
well, then he might not live in Florida.
He may not have, but he did live in Canada.
But there's no car any places anywhere around the hotel.
That's what I'm saying. You can't get on a plane?
Taxi to the frickin' Airport?
Could get a taxi to the airport and book
No.
your own flight home.
No.
Come on, guys.
That's a piss poor story. If I had a car, boy, if I had a car.
Boy, if I had a car, I would have went to the house.
But I didn't, so I just stayed in the hotel and showed them as I wasn't booked for Raw, but I wasn't going to be there.
Unfortunately, none of the other wrestlers joined him, and he was the only one who set off Raw the next night in protest of what went down. I found out that night I found out that night that one really is the loneliest number. One is the loneliest number when I don't have a car.
I wasn't on Raw, so I showed them.
Right. You probably weren't even booked for that night. Is the loneliest number when only one guy sits out. There was a bunch of guys talking about it, but looking around the hotel, I was the only one that ended up sitting out. So I said, I guess it didn't happen. Shows you the kind of loyalty that Foley has. It also shows us that at the end of the day, wrestlers are going to do what is best for them. Well, duh.
And speaking of best for them and wrestlers, Mick Foley did what's best for him because he was in a Montreal Screwjob angle.
Well, later on, they did the same angle with him, huh?
Yes.
Funny.
And he went along with it. Why he?
Well, if he hated the Montreal Screwjob,
that's when Vince did that to him for The Rock to win the belt.
Ah, that's
in
right.
that Survivor Series in Canada. So
if you had such a problem with it, why would you want to duplicate it and put more light on it?
Thank you.
See there? It's this. This is what it's all about.
Yes.
The money.
Mighty dollar rules the world.
So, it just, Vince could have, like I said, I think all of it's a ruse. So all Vince could have said was, "Hey, just don't show up at the arena. We're gonna build this story that because who." Okay, I understand that Mick Foley's son, his favorite wrestler was Owen Hart, all this kind of stuff. But nobody ever hears, Brett and Mick Foley, they used to hang out. They used to chill, have a good time.
No.
They used to have barbecue, family barbecue. You just don't hear that stuff. So that's what I'm saying. It just seems like the whole situation was, hey, you're not needed at the show anyway. So you just chill at the hotel. It's all good.
And was he on the Survivor Series card?
That's what I'm saying. I don't even know. We have to look at that. But it'd be funny if he wasn't.
Yeah.
We're like, well, of course we don't need you at the show anyway. You weren't on the Survivor Series card. But at the same time, of course, when a boss does that to somebody, what job has there never been a screw job at? Come on now. There's always funny business that happens at a place of business. Yes. But of course, all the coworkers are going to talk about it. So of course, all the boys talked about it, and they talked about how upset they were. But at the same time, they're going to need their paychecks because they don't have that huge $10 million or whatever that Bret Hart was guaranteed. So of course, they need to stick around for their own jobs because there's no guarantee that Bret could have got him a job at WCW.
And Bret should have been the one who do the job to show the boys no matter how big you are. You do the job.
You go out, put somebody else over, no matter if you don't like them or not.
Like them or not, you do the job. You're going to another company.
Do the job.
You say goodbye. So even like the Undertaker thing, if he's done, he did the job.
Exactly.
John Cena's on his way out. Maybe a couple of years, but he's on the end of his career. We know he is. And like I said, I expect him at No Mercy to do the job to Roman Reigns. It won't help Roman, but he'll do the job.
Absolutely.
So, see, Bret can be pissy all he wants. I don't care. It is your hometown. I don't give a rat's ass what it is. I don't give your home country. When your boss says, you lose the title tonight, you say, yes, sir. And you go out there and lose the title.
Exactly. But the next time we do the Montreal Screwjob 10 backstage stories
I'll be a professional, Brett.
About what really happened that night, we're going to go over the fact that Vince Russo blames himself.
He had to get his nose in it somewhere, didn't he?
Of course, he had to blame himself. But we do have one little old countdown for you.
Yeah, there's one little countdown left.
And it is 10 things that Global Force Wrestling can do to make an impact on wrestling.
Win the lottery.
They need it.
Win the Powerball. That would solve a lot of their problems.
They would have got that 700 and something million. That would have helped.
That would solve a lot of their problems.
And instead, it was a lady that worked in the medical field. She said, "Bye.
Yes.
I quit my job." So, but number 10 is a steady home back on Spike. The Pop deal expires in the fall, but we do know they re-upped.
But they do need Spike more than Pop, but they're on Pop.
They're on Spike in the UK, but they are on Pop again, at least for another year, I think is what I read.
Pop. Yes.
Number 9?
Number 9. A lick of paint. Change up the colors.
Right, change up your look, yeah.
Change up a little bit. Brighten up this thing. More lights. Change up a little bit.
And number 8 is a big one. They need a new set. That's very true.
They've had some weird ones.
They have.
You've had tunnels on both sides, good guy, bad guys, you have this and that, and so it's all around.
But sometimes you might need to go back to what works, and to me, you know, at least it was going in the upward direction when they had the 2 tunnels on both sides, because what they're doing now ain't working. I mean, they need to come up with some different ideas, I'll tell you that much.
Number 7, additional content. You know, get out there, hey, with this Global Force Network, that may help. Push the product, your product, not keep pushing the guys who now work for WWE.
Yes.
I know they work for TNA, but still, come on.
But you know what they're going to do with that daggone Global Force Network is that they're going to use that to push the fact that, you know, AJ Styles worked here once, and here's you every match that he ever had. You can't get that with the WWE Network.
And Bobby Roode. And
Samoa Joe. Eric Young.
Yes.
So many people that they could put, well, you know, this guy works over there now, but you can watch all his
and
early
Sting
matches.
And
right,
Kurt Angle. Yes.
Even Kevin Nash was over there.
Yep, that's what they're going to do. That's all it's going to be.
That's all it's going to be. It's going to be pushing the fact that those people used to work for them. Well, think about the problem there. The word used to, the 2 words used to is not a good thing.
Yep.
Where are we at now? Number 6.
Yes.
Back to basics. Solid wrestling and easily to follow storylines. Just bring it back to the basics. Drop it back down. Don't make it so elaborate, and don't make it about the other product, the other company. Just make it about what y'all are doing, and make it more about what y'all are doing and less about how they do the product. If y'all are carbon copying, which they did that a long time ago, they kept trying to do that.
Yes.
If it's a carbon copy of what we see on Raw and SmackDown, we don't want to see 3 of those same shows. You know?
Can we mention bearded short dude named Daniel Bryan winning the world title, and a bearded short dude named Eric Young winning the world heavyweight title?
Right. It looks like all you're doing is making a carbon copy. Just be completely different.
Yes. And what they're going with now is completely different, but they start still, you know.
But then, like, this stuff is just...
You got Alberto out there.
It's like there's a curse or something on them because the Alberto thing happens, Jeff Jarrett leaving, all your big stars, you couldn't keep them signed, like Drew McIntyre and the Hardys and Mike Kanellis. It's like, come on now. It just doesn't look good.
Low key.
That guy, he's leaving, yeah.
Yeah, I thought he liked it. Why is he leaving?
Because he wants to be in the world title picture.
Money.
He claims that they wanted to put him in the X division. He feels that he's higher than the X division.
Maybe something different. Maybe you should try it.
But at the same time, exactly, that's where he started, and I get that. You don't want to do the same stuff over again, but you're building the brand back up. So maybe you can be back in that title picture of the X division, build the X division back up to where it used to be, and then move on to the world title picture later on. So, but yeah, if you ever notice, low-key gets little panties in a wad.
He
He did
does.
the same thing. New Japan. He said the reason why he wears a suit wrestling is a silent protest of New Japan wrestling.
No.
And then WWE had a problem when he was whatever he was then. Whatever his other name. Was it Senshi or something?
I forgot now.
Anyway, he had a different name.
He did have a name.
Didn't he win the U.S. title? I feel like he won the U.S. title after winning the competition. But he won the competition.
Yeah,
the NXT thing.
That's what I was doing.
And then I could have sworn he won the U.S. title, and then shortly thereafter,
We'll have to look and see.
We will.
But we are at number 5. Leave the Impact Zone. Get the hell out of the Impact Zone. This is not WCW Saturday Night.
Amen. Number 4, capitalize on...
It was supposed to be on the network before Thunder.
That's true.
Thunder!
Thunder is coming, though.
Yeah.
Number 4, capitalize.
Not from just the hurricane.
Not just from the hurricane, that's true. Number 4, capitalize on the international market.
Which they are saying
saying they're doing that. They're getting in other markets. Yeah.
Yes. Number 3, drop the Hardy legal battle. Get rid. Yes. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
The cold never bothered me anyway.
Let the Hardy thing go.
Yes, let them have it. Shut up. It's not helping y'all any.
You can put on your network for $4.99.
Yeah, don't make it too expensive. Ain't nobody gonna get it.
No, you think you got nothing now? Wait and see if you try
And you
to.
can't make the same catchphrase. Get the Global Wrestling Network for only $9.99. Vince will probably put a cease and desist on you for that too.
$9.98. We're cheaper than you.
Right. We're cheaper than Netflix and Hulu. Yeah.
Yes, that's true. Oh Lord.
$4.99 sounds like a good. I'd get it if it was $4.99. I would get it.
And 60
Just
days
to support
free.
them out a
Your
little bit.
60-day free trial.
You get 2 free months, and then it's $4.99
Yes.
from then on out. I would do $4.99.
What a deal for under $5.
For under $5.
It's a $5 meal deal.
I would do $4.99 just to see what the product looks like on there. Just to see what.
It's the same old shit.
I mean, I know it's the same old stuff, but I'd give their little network a chance. But not for no $9.99. I'm not gonna pay the same price.
You go back and watch the old ones. They're showing pay-per-view every week.
Right.
You watch the countdown when it was on Fox Sports. You watch the countdown going, okay, the show's about to be over with, so we know the match is fixing to end.
Right.
So, it's still scrolling around. So.
The old Dusty Rhodes there.
And you can see Dixie Carter again.
Oh my word. But then we've got number 2. They're saying that this person would bring
It would.
impact on wrestling.
It would
If
bring a surprise to it.
But this person you'll see in Ring of Honor before you'll ever see here.
Yes.
And that is Mr.
But-
CM Punk.
Yes. And number 1.
You would see in Ring of Honor before you'll ever see in Global Force.
But it would be a shock. I mean, it would be either 1 or 2, which is Daniel Bryan, would be a shock.
Yes. Or both of them show up. I mean, hey, whatever. But I don't see either one of them. That, to me, they don't have the money for them. I could see Ring of Honor doing like a one match deal for CM Punk, and he would probably go for that before ever going to Global Force Wrestling.
Yeah.
And Daniel Bryan, if he was to leave WWE and feel like he could wrestle again,
We'll know by the time after WrestleMania.
I could see him going to New Japan and Ring of Honor. I could see it.
Yeah.
But not Global Force.
Because it would.
You don't get as much coverage in Global Force. Ring of Honor.
Big shock. You have the big shock.
Right.
And then after 2 or 3 shows, it's dead.
It's dead again. Exactly. Especially when it's pre-taped stuff.
Wow, it went dark again.
Wow.
World.
Wow.
What in the world happened here? Jesus.
But I'm assuming you can lighten all that up.
I can, but
that's
jeez,
insane.
it should have went
But-
dark.
But with Daniel Bryan, I mean, I could see him saying, well, if I do a Ring of Honor deal, I can also sign a dual contract and do Pro Wrestling Grill at PWG and sign a New Japan contract. To me, you get more coverage doing Ring of Honor than you ever would with Global Force.
Yes.
So, but anyway, that is.
I hate to see
that's
Daniel
kinda-
go.
Oh, of course.
I hate to see Daniel go. If he's going to go, he may not go.
He may not
It's
go.
not just big talk. But if he goes, as long. Hey, we're back clear again.
Weird.
This way. If he goes, I hope he'll completely end up.
And doesn't hurt him. Yeah, if he gets hurt in the ring, I'm just going, oh, that's going to be awful.
Yeah.
And then WWE will be like, I told you so.
I know.
And that'll be awful too.
Yes.
But yes, I mean, I would love to see him wrestle again, but at the same time, as long as it doesn't affect his health, I don't want it to affect his health.
No.
But yeah, I mean, Global Force, they do need they really got to figure some stuff out. Maybe they need to quit going back to the same people that ran the companies before. Maybe that's what it needs to be.
Maybe old Jim Hurt can do something.
Oh, Jim Hart! I'm just
We'll
saying,
see, because he got the reins now.
because we've already had Big John Gabork in there before. We've already had Bruce Pritchard in there before. We've had Jim Cornette in there before. We've had Dutch, and we've had Jim Jarrett. Who is Jim Jarrett? Jeff Jarrett. So I was thinking about Jim Hurd and Jeff Jarrett and their little fight, whatever.
See, it don't matter what you call it. People know what it used
Still
to be.
TNA.
It is.
You can polish up a turd, it's still going to be a turd, my friends.
That is the quote
Of
the show.
episode right there.
Yes. That's true. It don't matter who you put in there
It
or who you
does.
bring in. It doesn't affect anything. It pops and you're right back to where you were. Turdsville.
Turdsville, USA.
Yes. And we hate to say it, but it's the truth. It is the truth. I believe if the rocker dude, what's his name? I forget what his name is now. Who owns
Billy Corgan?
Yes,
Who owns the NWA?
if he would have took over TNA and changed it, it still would have been a bomb. There's nothing you can do. It's just enough to just keep you going. Just enough.
You need to take it off of television completely, revamp it, act like it has nothing to do, like to totally get rid of the TNA company. Just completely get rid of the company. And maybe that's why he went to do the NWA thing, because he can mold that into what he wants it to be.
That's true.
Instead of taking a turd and trying to mold it.
Which ain't on me. That's just a mess. That's what it is.
That's true.
Disgusting.
It just gets sloppy after a while. So.
But next time on Top Rope Reality, we will have Ringside News.
Of course.
Pro Wrestling review the Monday Night Wars. We're going to continue into November, December. Yes, oh no, it won't.
Apparently not.
It will.
Well, then we're going to have the finals for the greatest of all time tag team edition. We're going to have the final 3.
Who is going to be?
Yes. Who will be
the GOAT?
The GOAT of tag teams. Plus,
we're going to do the third round of the Cruiserweight Top Rope Reality Cruiserweight Tournament. In a minute.
Plus, we're going to continue on as we talk about Vince Russo blaming himself for the Montreal Screwjob.
Plus, at WCW. Things you don't remember.
Yes, that's true. Things you don't remember in WCW.
So I'm Mike Hogan.
I'm just a cat.
Y'all stay safe out there in this big hurricane coming through Florida. And we'll see you next time right here at Top Rope Reality.
And don't try to polish no turds.
No.